Hello and welcome to the 4Corners podcast. I'm Brad with Matt and Shad as always. Gentlemen, how are you doing?
I'm doing.
You're right.
So we have a quite a litany of things to discuss this week. Because if you were living under a rock this past weekend, can we just call it an attempted murder?
That's certainly what it looked like.
Yeah. So if you were living under a rock, so there's this whole thing this weekend. Was it Rikishi's promotion?
Okay. Knox
Yes.
Pro Wrestling, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like I think part ownership in it.
So
Or he's
they get Rampage Jackson's son, who's Raja Jackson, to come to the show. Wrestler on the show does hits him with a beer can
Not even
it was
like gimmick hits him.
yeah, and this started out as a miscommunication pretty much because the guy thought he was in on it. So then Raja gets upset, which whatever, and then he apologizes to him, and they say, well, let's turn this into an angle, and then so that goes on, and Raja, because he's a very stupid human being, live streams this whole thing, adding to the premeditation. So then the guy that brought him said, well, go get your receipt, which means maybe pop him once a little harder than normal. So then essentially what happens, they do the end thing, and he jumps on this guy and punches him in the face 20 something times.
Hang on. Back up. He doesn't jump on him. He picks
He
him up
slams on him.
and does that over the shoulder slam, which sure looks like KOs him on impact.
Yeah.
No, if you look at times, he picked up and did slam him. And that the first time I saw it, I wasn't sure if those picked up and that didn't necessarily weird. I mean, he's not a professional, so it's he picked up a slant ice guy hit, and he wasn't taking it like a wrestler would take a bump. I mean, he is a wrestler, but so he knows how to take a bump. But it's like the way he was throwing, he's hit his back of his head.
He didn't
and I
have
could tell
control
he was
of
out
his fall.
yeah, he did that thing where he just didn't move, didn't even try to sell or anything like that. And I'm like, oh, he's out. I thought I'm seeing it again. I'm like, oh, okay, like that guy, that sucks. That's rough, but untrained guy. But that wasn't what that was. It wasn't. Is that he to punch him full force, acted like 20 fucking times. Pardon my language. And it got to the point first I knew 3 times he did it. After that, whoa, that's unprotected. I could tell it's unprotected. The guy didn't even put his hands up, he's out. And I'm like, stop. There's the referee is just gets the thing. It's no. It's dude, you got to be aware. This is now. We've gone far past the lines of this. He's punching a guy full force in the face. You're standing 3 feet away. You can see it. Thankfully, Bean, the rest, tackled Aja off him, but it's ugly. It was really ugly, and yeah, it was a nasty video, and it was all over the last 2 days. It's all over
Yeah.
And
Well, and it does not help that, like you said, through this whole thing, because he's an idiot, Raja Jackson streamed the whole thing. Now, when the guy, quote unquote, hit him with a beer can, he takes an empty beer can, puts it to the guy's head, and hits his own hand, right? It's a gimmick thing. He thought he was a worker because he came into the locker room with a camera. And then when they're like, dude, that's not what's up, he apologizes. He apologizes. It's on camera. Apologizes, shakes hands.
Mm.
That's how you squash beef, right? Like that's supposed to be done. And because Raja Jackson is a tiny dick little bitch boy, he decides he's streaming it all through Kick, so he lets his Kick chat wind him up, and he says, "No, I'm gonna hit him for real. I'm gonna hit him until they pull me off of him." And in the space of when he went in there and did it, where a bunch of the guys in the ring are not aware, they're like, "What is this?" And then all of a sudden, he starts throwing punches. He's thrown like 20 punches when someone's like, "Oh God," realizes what's happening and pulls him off. This sets the stage for premeditated, at the very least, assault and battery, because this vain little moron has to stream the entire night.
And let's
there's so much to this. Maybe we can like go back and break it down even
what needs to be said, because the big
further.
excuse,
But I mean, it's bad. It's real bad.
the big excuse that people are throwing out for him is he's a trained MMA fighter. So let's talk about that real quick. He had 4 amateur fights, and he lost his only pro fight and hasn't fought in 2 years.
Yeah, so even a trained MMA fighter knows when the fight ends.
Yeah, that. I don't understand the logic or that excuse. Oh, he's a trained MMA. What?
You would MMA, but like
He's an MMA fighter. He's not a pro wrestler, so he's gonna swing for real. Is that the logic?
no, they're trying to just be like, oh, he just saw red and was like Hulk smash. But
and that's stupid.
That's not an excuse.
But
That's
the
not an
other
excuse.
thing is,
then you know what? Then the MMA isn't for you because you have an anger issue.
Yeah.
And you can't control yourself. You have an impulse disorder.
And you have it's an excuse because people don't understand MMA, and Shad did some of it, so he understands. But there is a similar trust in MMA to pro wrestling. It's just different. Like there's a mutual trust of, okay, well, the guy's going to stop punching me when he's supposed to, or oh, if I tap, the guy's going to let go of me. Like there's and there is also like the implicit, hey, we're all just trying to earn a living, so you're not going to be a dumb motherfucker and try to like permanently kill me.
The phrase that I use for it, that I have heard used that I like for it, is that MMA is a physical contest that's based on consent from both of them. And so whenever someone can't defend themselves or taps out, consent's revoked, fight's over, and that's an understanding. Here's the problem with their statement. Oh, he's a trained MMA fighter. He throws punches like that. He knows the difference. Because he said to the camera on his stream, I'm going to hit him for real until someone pulls me off of him.
And
He knew. He knew.
And as a regular...
Even if it's like, well...
I was going to say, as a regular MMA fight watcher...
Well, even if it's like MMA, it's like we've seen enough MMA... Mm-hmm.
Like, there's plenty of fights, though, where why it doesn't work is... There's plenty of fights where I've seen some guy get knocked the fuck out, and the guy's like... hits him, and he's like looking at the ref like, come on, stop it, like, I don't want to hit him anymore, but like he'll wait for the ref, but you can just see him let up because he's like, this dude's out, like, can we, like, you see mercy all the time in fights.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm not like a huge MMA like connoisseur, but I've seen enough MMA fights. I've seen where guys even they don't get do more than that, because they'll be like, I've hit a couple, and like the ref, usually at that point the ref will step in and be like, oh no, it's over, because the guy he isn't looking to just start wailing. He's gonna do a couple to show like I'm winning or whatever, and then the ref will stop it. And I've seen that so many times. The idea, it's like, well, he's an MMA fighter. It's like, and then be like, all right, he's out. Especially when the guy's
Yeah. You do
Sucks at it.
you do have to hop on the guy though, because I have seen fights where the guy gets knocked out on his feet and he hits the mat so hard it wakes him up. And he's good to go again. Like I've seen that happen before, so that you do have to like.
It is just so staggeringly dumb. And look, I don't. How can I best put this? If he goes in, okay, let's break this whole thing down. If he went in there and it was like everything plays out the same, except he gets up there, does the slam, and then rolls out. Not great, but that's a risk you take doing wrestling. But the fact that he knew, he admitted he knew, he said outright what he was going to do, that he was fully intending on harming this person, is, look, I don't like, how can I best put this? Just like any other pop psychology term, the phrase toxic masculinity gets thrown at a lot of stuff. And some of it probably shouldn't. But if you want an example of what to use it on, this is the thing to use it on. Because why? This guy felt disrespected from a guy who, on stream, live on camera, apologized to him for making a mistake, and goes and does this. Yeah, there are not enough terms that I can appropriately use to express my disgust for this person.
But
And it's a wrestling show too. Like you kind of expected a wrestling show. You know, like I mean, I don't know how much he knew about wrestling, but like if I go to a wrestling show, like I said, like if you went and Chuck Taylor was there, he would grab your drink and chuck it. Like there's a certain level of expectation if you go to a show, and especially if you're around the workers, you're close to the front, like there's a better than average chance you might get screwed with.
To an extent, yeah.
well, I feel so much of it though, Shad. I feel so much of it was like performative in a way, because it's like, I felt disrespect. He felt disrespected. It's like it's a gimmick. One, the guy did apologize, and then I feel really it's like it's for your stream. It's like I got disrespected, so I need to like show my kick streaming audience that like I won't take that. And it's like, the guy, you walked into a locker room with a camera. The guy who's a wrestler, he's like, oh, a camera is like following me. I gotta then like I can't just be like Joe Schmo with my 9-to-5 job here in the background, asking like the next guy that I worked a few shows with. It's like, hey, how's your kids doing? Like, starting kindergarten yet? Like what? Like, I'm not just doing that. I'm like, oh, camera's in my face. Like, oh, it must be a gimmick. It must be like a work. All right, let me get in character.
Yeah.
And he did like a worked thing with them. Even apologized when it became obvious, like, oh, this guy's not in on it. So let me be like, hey, I'm sorry, brother. Like, no offense. I thought you were working, whatever, and everything seemed cool. But then one of the other guys, I don't know if is he part of management or an owner, but AJ Mana.
I don't know.
He's at least like
I don't know his relation.
I thought he was just one of the wrestlers, but I can't swear to that.
I don't think he was management.
He is at least or was a friend with Raja, and may have been the one who even brought him in.
Yeah.
But they have video of him. He's hyping him. I was like, hey man, you got to get your receipt on that. Like, you can't let him do that. And it's like, this isn't prison.
No, but
like this isn't like, oh, you got disrespected by the the guy, so you gotta step up to him in the yard and like have a fight.
But like
it's a worked wrestling show.
But this is wrestling though. He meant, oh yeah, just give him a little extra on a couple of shots if you want to. It doesn't mean, hey, go knock him out and try to kill him. Like I think what he said was stupid, but I think people are putting a little too much on him, because I think he meant, oh yeah, just give him a little extra, if you want to. But I mean, Shad's been in a wrestling locker room. If someone said that to you, like the implication is like, oh yeah, give him a little
Look,
something.
in my experience, receipts are a 1-to-1 exchange rate. If somebody, hauls off and taters the hell out of me, and I'm going to receipt them, 1. Because beyond that, now I'm abusing the trust in the ring. And if you're going to receipt somebody, also, it's typically not, it is a stiff shot.
I'll use a
punch or kick or something.
I'll use a great.
Okay, wait, hang on. Unless you're Bubba Ray Dudley catching a receipt from Big E that you earned.
No, I'll use a great example of giving a receipt or giving it to someone when it's a Memphis clip you can find on YouTube. It's like a minute and a half. Coco Ware beating the crap out of that outlaw guy, where he just clotheslines him really hard and gives him a little extra and then slaps him in the face while he's pinning him. Like that's how you do it in not a stupid manner that's going to injure someone.
Yeah. And you don't ever just let someone in the crowd have a free shot. Like, oh yeah, get your receipt, because you don't know what they're going to do. You don't know how they're... Like, okay, what was it? Thinking back, you want to get the crowd involved with something, it's like the time that Will Ospreay had, I don't remember if it was Fletcher or if it was MJF in the crowd, had a kid come up and do a chop to him, right? Like, that's what you do because...
I think it was MJF, right?
MJF or Fletcher won, I can't remember which, but what that does is you know that what this person is going to do, there's a certain reasonable expectation that comes with it. Going to hurt feelings, bitch boy, it was not the right, over a beef that nobody saw. Okay, it took place in the locker room. Only his stream saw it. So why does he need a receipt? There's not a reason.
It's a bad life choice. It's a bad life choice to say to low-key, hold my beer.
But that's why I'm like, is it performative? I mean, it's not performative that he actually did it, but it's like, are you really pissed off?
No, I think, okay. I think he would have done it regardless if he was on camera, because he just seems like a hot-headed fool. But I think there might have been a slightly better chance that cooler heads prevailed, but I still think I think he probably still would have done it, because he just seems like a idiot.
There was a lot. I generally don't feel like the Squared Circles subreddit is very good, but they had actually a long thread about this.
Yeah,
which had a lot of good information. This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like, I'm using the word performative. Performant is not like you're putting one on a performance. Like, he actually did it, and maybe Brad's right that it's like he wanted to do it, so he was going to do it. And that's a comment he made to that point. But before that, he did this, and then AJ Mana was again hyping him up. It's like, oh, you got to get your receipt, whatever that means. But I guess he was asking the chat on his kick stream, like, hey, what should I do? And it's like, it's going to be a bunch of degenerates. They're going to be like, mess him up, dude, mess him up. It's like, you shouldn't, I mean, whatever. But I guess he said on his stream, which kind of goes to Brad's point, it's like, well, he would have done this. He says, and I quote, "It's always been my dream to fuck up a pro wrestler for real." Said that. That's an actual quote. And then another time, a little bit later, he's like, "I'm gonna punch his ass for real. I'm not gonna fuck him up too bad." Well, he did. And then he was also, I guess, on Kick explaining the situation. He asking for subs. Oh, give me 50 subs and I'll knock him out.
So it is not only is he a little bitch boy, he's also so ragingly insecure that he's having to live stream everything. He's live streaming everything. Please God, let people like me kind of stuff. So his full insecurity is, it's just like, what are we? This guy is basically either a menace to society or so easily manipulated that he can be pushed into one without, by a stiff breeze. Like, it's abhorrent that it happened in the first place. It shouldn't have happened. I cannot, I do not have the words for how disgusted I am with it. But also, it's harming everybody's general perception of what this is supposed to be. And
it's actually dual harming though, because it's hurting pro wrestling, but it's hurting MMA because people are using their misconceptions of MMA to justify it, which also makes MMA look bad. And you'll watch like someone like Tom Lawler be like, "No, this shit doesn't happen in MMA. Like, what are you talking about?"
That immediately. So to that point, for anyone who's trying to like, MMA, like defending it, Tom Lawler has fought MMA. He has obviously done a lot of pro wrestling stuff. He kind of was forced
I think
to.
he actively does both, doesn't he?
He hasn't done. He hasn't done MMA since 2020, I think, something like that.
Didn't he get like banned or had his license revoked or something from MMA or from UFC or got fired? I think because of
he hadn't been in UFC for a long time, and he's not.
Yeah, I don't know that it was like steroids. It could have been.
No,
I thought it was
he
maybe,
wasn't like he's not like. He was like a mid-range performer, so he might have just gotten. Let me look. I'm looking to see here.
Okay. I mean, he wasn't like John Jones level MMA. He wasn't like your world champion, but he did MMA. Like he's done MMA. Like
he was on The Ultimate Fighter, and then he was in UFC. He was on UFC 100.
Yeah, he's done UFC. He's done MMA to the point where it's not just like whatever guy who's done MMA like 3 times. It's like no, he was a name in MMA, and he's also done pro wrestling. So a guy who's been in that world, who's done both, when he comes in there and says like, no, this is abhorrent, like it's terrible, this is not how it's done. I know, like, and he knows, like he has literally the experience, the wealth of experience to be like.
He failed for Osterin, which is a selective androgen receptor modulator, which I don't know what the fuck that means. He was suspended for 2 years. They released him 2 years before his suspension was up. Then he did PFL up until 2021.
Yeah, he retired June 17, 2021 from MMA. But he was doing wrestling kind of concurrently. So Tom Lawler is probably the best guy to go to for input on this situation, because he had feet firmly planted in both worlds, and he's the guy that you should ask. And he's like, nothing about this is right. So I don't know, Matt, you know more legal stuff than we do. The scuttlebutt I had heard is, first of all, it was being investigated. But one of the theories that I had heard was he wasn't arrested yet because they really wanted to nail down what they would be charging him with in order to get, first of all, the appropriate warrant, but also setting the appropriate bail. Does that sound...
I don't mean this to sound bad, but they might have also been waiting a couple days to see if the guy died, so then they could...
Well, yeah, because if Psycho Stu, by the way, if he died, now it bumps from one level to the next, and it comes either manslaughter or homicide.
They probably have to review the footage too. It happened on a weekend, so the DA wasn't around. They're probably reviewing it to see. They're probably just wrangling
Well,
over
yeah,
what they want.
they didn't have a judge around to write the warrant, but
Yeah.
There, with a lot of like I'll say contact sports, and calling wrestling a contact sport, some people would gripe at that because it's obviously predetermined. But there is the whole concept of assumption of risk. I mean, let's take football for example, like pro football. Two guys, like one guy tackles someone on the opposing team, and that guy gets tackled so hard that they have a bad concussion to the point they have they have a neurological episode, and then they slip into a coma and they die. Like, would you charge the guy who did the tackle with
No.
really manslaughter?
Marty
Well,
McSorley
no.
did get charged. I think that was in Canada though. He got charged for the stick incident.
Okay, that's a little different. But let's work with my hypothetical, like for example, because that's getting into like if we change the fact pattern, like just two guys like they hit each other. One, unfortunately, like it's so much that they die. Would you charge the one guy with manslaughter, even like involuntary manslaughter?
No.
I should say no, because there is an assumption of risk. It's like these two men are kind of agreeing, like there's going to be this brutal and like contact potentially, and this is kind of very rare, thankfully, but not unforeseen necessary consequence of getting like very seriously injured. Someone comes at you and tackles you full force, and they're 300-pound dude, muscle, like it's potentially going to hurt you, even if you have pads, helmet, everything like that. Like these things can happen. Now let's change like the hypothetical a little bit. Let's say that the individual who did the tackle, like before the game, telling everyone around there, I don't like this dude, I'm going to single him out and I'm going to hurt him. Like it's my goal to hurt him. Now the fact patterns have changed. Now you have someone who's like, there's maybe going to go beyond like the normal assumption of risk, where it's like that he's actually going to, maybe try to hurt them. And I bring up football because there was the whole scandal from a few years back where certain people, and I'm a Washington sports fan, like they were involved in all this, where it's like management people, there's a whole conspiracy where, they were telling players, like, we want you to single out people and hurt them, and not obviously like kill them or anything like that, but it's like, why don't you tackle that guy, injure his leg, with their star player, take him out, like take him out for the rest of the season, like I don't care. And it's like that's edging into like, certainly it's unethical, like maybe now you're edging into criminal. So with this, I mean, pro wrestling, it's like it's predetermined, obviously, but you're still, and Chad, you know this better than any of us here, like you're still you're giving your body to the other person. And there is an insane level of trust with that. Like people who have not actually worked a match of any sort of like complexity don't really get that. You do. Yeah. But it's like even like a guy picking you up for a body slam, like there's a lot of trust in that because you're taught how to bump, how to take it, but you're also trusting the guy is gonna pick you up and he's gonna do his part to make sure you land in a certain way. He doesn't just like dump you whatever. He doesn't dump you intentionally on your shoulder. He's not going to dump you onto your head. I mean, there have people, it's very rare. I think it's happened not that often, but I mean, there have been times where a guy will take up a body slam and throw the guy down. And if the guy doesn't take it the right way or doesn't tuck his neck like that, you can break your neck.
So in that vein, Matt, one of the things that I always did is when I would do a body slam and lift, we're here, right? I could just pull the shoulder push and put you down, but one thing I always did is I always flip my arm around to cradle the back of their head to make sure that whenever I did slam them, I'm holding their head so the rest of their body's going first. Like
if I was ever trained as a worker and I did that to a guy, like that would be my inclination, because I would be paranoid. It's like, oh man, I want to protect this guy's neck and head. So I would try and do that as best I could and aim it to where it's like, if I don't want, you obviously don't want to hurt them, but if it's like I'm gonna send them where their lower back or their butt really is gonna maybe hit first. Like I'm gonna make sure that that's gonna absorb the blow. But it's predetermined, but there's a lot of trust that you put in. This
Mhm.
wasn't. It didn't even have like a planned spot really.
This was
And
more
he's
like
on stream saying, "I'm gonna go mess this up for real. I'm gonna like hit him until they pull me off." Now, there's one thing he said, which is where the promotion could get fucked. And a lot of people come out, and I'm sure like there will be more to this, so they'll tell their side of the story. But he said, I guess on the kick stream, again, everything's like broadcast. It's like he's not a very bright person. Okay, if I'm going to commit a crime, even if I'm not like I'm saying I'm going to commit a crime, or I'm too stupid to realize that I'm going to commit a crime, or I'm saying I'm going to commit a crime. But if I'm going to, do something potentially like not legal, I'm not going to be like, hey guys, let me stream this. It's like, no, don't stream your bank robbery, idiot. Like, you're an idiot. He's dumb. But he said, I guess it was Kickstream, they told me to hit him, then someone will pull me off. I'm going to hit him as many times. And it's like, they told me, and then he also says, they said someone will pull me off. Like, it's obviously the guy saying it and he's an idiot, but that's really potentially bad because that makes it seem like, oh, they told me to, like, there was a spot planned, and I'm gonna be allowed to do my move on him and then hit him, and then someone's gonna stop me. If that's the case, like, it doesn't seem like Stu, the guy that actually got injured, like he was in on it. But let's just assume again, for hypothetical purposes, that somebody worked out a spot with him, with Raja, not even Stu. Like, oh yeah, go in there, like slam him, and then like hit him, and we'll bring you off. It's like clearly things didn't get communicated to all parties because he slammed the dude down and just starts wailing on him full force, and then everyone else is just standing around like a deer in their headlights, not moving until a dude finally like gets him off. But
I mean, the people in the ring, though, you have to realize, like, that happened really fast, and they were probably just like, what the fuck? Like, the people in the ring, I have some, like, I think their reaction was just normal because, like, we were all having fun, and now, like, this guy's getting...
So...
And they were pretty...
Okay.
I mean, and they were quickish. Like, they did react. They were kind of like, what the hell? And then they started trying to get him off, but, like... But like the first person that tried to get him off, he didn't stop.
Yeah. That was so again, from being in there, if you're going to have a spot like that, everybody in the match needs to know about it. Obviously everybody didn't. He rolls in there, he starts doing that, and the guys are stop because this is so out of the ordinary, and they go, "Wait. What is this? What's going on?" Oh, shit. And then they go intervene. Because my wife asked me about it. Like, there's this moment where it's like your brain's jumping the tracks, and you're going, what is this? Like, this is weird, this is strange, and then it goes from not comprehending to what's going on to the pieces come together and moving into action. And unfortunately, that took the space of about 20 punches. I don't fault the guys in the ring who didn't know anything about it. If I'm going to fault somebody, I think we said it was AJ Mana. I would fault him for kind of instigating this, and if he's going to instigate it, not being on the lookout for it. But here's the thing: we've got this goofus streamed the entire thing, right? Like, he never turned his stream off, I don't think. Matt, the link I sent you, this guy went through the whole stream and like time-stamped the notable stuff. So unless it's on there that what somebody told him, because if they roll up and tell him, it's like, oh, it says so you can get a little receipt or something like this is such a weird case because so much of it is literally on video for the whole thing, and you get this guy narrating it. Like, this case is not going to go well for him. And the other thing that disturbs me is not directly related to it, but the different threads that went up about it on Reddit/r/squared circle kept getting locked because these moron bros kept rolling in there and brigading stuff. And it's like, no. I could be so uncomplimentary about it. But I'm not gonna just start spouting off on it because that won't get us anywhere. But the fact that there are so many people standing up for or defending it's also rather disheartening. It's this whole thing is disgusting, reprehensible, and frankly, Raja Jackson should be in so much trouble it's unreal.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if he goes to court, I am gonna make popcorn because
He better hope they offer him some kind of deal because that's gonna look real bad. And if he gets like in front of like a normie jury, that's gonna look brutal.
Yeah. What happens is the jury is going to sit there, watch the whole stream, and the prosecution's going to lay out stuff. I don't know. Maybe they'll explain some stuff, like some context, and then go, "What do you see here?"
They're gonna see. They're just gonna play like his own words, being like, "Oh yeah, I you're gonna see me for real, like hurt. You did this dude, like for real." Like, so it's being that way. What are you gonna say? Like, oh, he doesn't. Like, you can't argue. Like, well, he doesn't understand. It's like, no, he gets that pro wrestling is not real.
Yeah.
He's an MMA fighter. He's done real fights, whether he's successful in them or not. But he understands. So he's saying like, well, no, I'm gonna go in there for real, and I'm gonna hurt this guy. And it's like, how are you gonna get around that? Like, how are you gonna be like, well, no, like, I'm sure. I would guess like he would just be like, well, this was all just like it was planned. Everything was planned. I was supposed to go in there. They're supposed to stop me. Like, well, you should work your punches. You can't. How are you gonna get that? He can't really get around certain things. Like, he came in there, and he did absolutely hurt a guy. Like, he knocked him out. You could argue it's like, well, I don't know. I'm not a trained pro wrestler. I threw him down because like I'm trained in MMA, so I threw him in the way like I'm trained with. So it accidentally knocked him out. I didn't mean to knock him out. But then it's like, well, then why don't you do a work punch? If you're gonna then like I'm gonna top him and throw punches, do a work punch. It's an indie show. You're not televised in front of a million people where it's like, I gotta make these punches look real good. You're an indie show. If you just start doing like the fake punches where you're like, oh no, stop hitting me. Like,
just, yeah.
No one's gonna care because this shouldn't be like streamed anywhere. Even if it's streamed, it's like, who's gonna watch it? Like an indie show. Like,
yeah,
dozens of people that maybe that are fans of this particular promotion might watch it. Like, come on.
It's
you can't get around it. You can make an argument like, oh, I knocked him out. You can maybe be like, I did it accidentally. I didn't mean to. But everything else that followed, up to a point, but everything else, like you punching the dude like repeatedly, like that's on you, and it doesn't help. If it doesn't help that he was on stream saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hurt him. Like,
right.
I'm gonna punch him until they pulled me off. Like, come on.
Yeah.
The statement, oh, I accidentally stabbed him 17 times. It's like, what? Did he get up and trip and fall on your knife? Like, there's no accident to this. There is, out of his own mouth before he did it, he literally called his shot. So, and one other thing. I don't think Quentin Jackson has the money to get a good enough lawyers or throw enough around to be able to get his son off cleanly on this.
I think I saw someone
frankly looks like too much of a slam dunk.
I think someone mentioned that Rampage had said at one point that he was saving money to put 2 kids through college and have bail money for the other one, which was the one that he now needs bail money for.
Bail money ain't gonna do a damn bit of good here, because it, you know.
Well,
I guess
it depends.
He acknowledges Raj as the troublemaker of the family. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, parents know.
as a parent, it's like it's also a good deal on you.
Yeah, I see.
Like
See now, sometimes it's not always though, because like I know plenty of families.
not 100%. People have their own agency, but it's like
I think
if you raise a kid a certain way, they shouldn't be like
Yeah, but I know
I'm gonna
plenty
go
of
beat a guy into unconsciousness, potentially kill him.
I know like plenty of families though where it's like like they had 4 kids and like 3 of them are doctors, and then there's the meth addict. Like I know more than one family like that. I think sometimes someone just is a little more predisposed to like screw up in life a lot and spectacularly.
It's just, look, this thing happened. It's abhorrent, and the thing that makes it even worse is that it was wholly unnecessary. If you have a traffic accident that happens because something happens with somebody's car and it just breaks, that's tragic. But it's, you someone's driving down the interstate and the timing belt goes out on their car and they start losing power, and then someone plows into them. That sucks, but it wasn't intentional on anybody's part. This, though, was fully intentional. And I don't know what the line between assault and battery and aggravated assault is, or aggravated battery, but it sure seems to me like that if anything's crossing that line that does not have a weapon in your hand, that this is it.
He's gonna get fucked, because I think the aggravators on this are going to be really bad, and he's going to get popped for premeditation. And I don't think their arguments for mitigation is going to be really bad and not great.
Yeah.
Like,
can you imagine being like, oh, well, he's just, made some mistakes. It's like, we're going for that now.
So when he gets to, so if they do go to trial or he doesn't take a deal, like because people probably don't know that when they sentence you, they have like aggravating factors and mitigating factors, and he's not going to have a lot of mitigating factors for that, and he's going to have a lot of aggravating ones. And like I said, that kick stream is going to really pop him for premeditation.
How many followers does he have on Kick anyway? Let me look this up.
Let me look. I have the app. Is he just Raja Jackson on there?
It'd be interesting to see if Kick banned him.
They did.
He's banned. He might not be on there then.
Yeah, they banned him.
Oh wait. No. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Here's an Economic Times. This is the thing. This, there's more to the story. We'll get into it in a minute. But this story was big enough, and I guess probably because of the Rampage Jackson Association. But this kind of broke containment of wrestling media.
Oh, real bad.
Actual news people were writing stories about this. And again, most people they're just gonna see the headline, maybe they'll read it, maybe they won't, but it was out there. People at least read the headline.
Yeah.
If you're a dude you don't care about wrestling at all, whatever, you're not gonna necessarily read the article, but you're gonna see the headline. You're gonna see Rampage Jackson's son beat up a pro wrestler in real life, got kicked from Steam. You're gonna be like, what the hell's going on over there? What? It broke containment. It didn't make the promotion look good.
Rampage has 108K, so I would assume he has less than that.
His son, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does that? How much are you making off stream?
Kick pays you a lot better than Twitch does, so decently. And if you're getting super chats, you can do pretty well. Well, if you're getting super chats and subs, you can do pretty well. And if he's pulling in like a couple thousand people for a stream, he could be making thousands.
I'm looking this up. I'm seeing Kick provides a 95% revenue split.
Yeah, they're
for subscriptions, with streamers keeping $4.74 for every $4.99 subscription.
Yeah, they're kind of
and they receive
pretty good.
They receive 100% of all direct tips and donations.
They've been kind of going more creator friendly as Twitch has been slowly strangling themselves with their own stupidity.
That is insane though, because it's like,
Yeah.
let's say, let's do the math. Let's say $4.74. So it's $5 to do a sub.
Yeah.
And if Rampage has 180, like his son doesn't get probably anywhere near that. But let's just use the number. Let's use 80,000 just for fun. So less than half of what his dad gets, but it's a big number. Let's just say so times 4.74. That's 379,200. That he would potentially like keep. Well, he keeps more because 100% of that's a lot. It's a whole lot.
I know, like something
I can imagine he's getting that much though.
I know someone like Kino Casino, which I think has 3,000 or 4,000 live viewers. They can pull in like 500 or 600 subs in a night.
I suspect that a lot of this is happening with I'm gonna lose my words. I suspect that the Kick split is them trying to draw people to the platform in order to be able to get their user base built up, and then they'll start lowering their payout. Because
Probably.
Yeah.
They're they're also subsidized by a casino, so they don't have to pay out as much. But I think it might, and you have to have you have to have like you have to have more subscribers and live viewers than Twitch does for them to monetize you. So I also think they don't start cutting you in until you're drawing better for them. But I know
we had someone in.
You get like a 95. You get the 95 to 5% split, but maybe only it's like, well, you need to have like 10,000 subs.
Right.
Otherwise, otherwise, it could be like we do like you get like 70%. We take 30.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, like so, what happened with Twitch? Twitch kind of.
That's actually not. That's smart if that is what they're doing.
Well, Twitch took all that away. So with Twitch, you only get like 50 something. Because that's why, because currently, well, there's a lot of reasons ad revenue is way down on Twitch because of some of their decisions, but there's a lot of content creators that have been jumping to Kick, like a lot of big ones. And like, I think Twitch might actually be in trouble this time. So Mr. Beast just did a Kick stream too, which
well, I mean, he's going to stream on wherever he can. Like that's, but the other thing, someone in chat had asked about in response on what Rampage did. I didn't watch it. I'll be straight up. I'm gonna phrase this best. After I saw what happened, I know I didn't care what Rampage Jackson's response was, because this is the same idiot who got in a road rage fight in a truck that had his likeness plastered down the side.
And like he's gonna default to protecting his kid. Like, I mean, that's human nature to a large degree. Like, I mean,
it is, but it's like, man, just
it is.
This should not have ever been a thing.
Yeah. So do we want to talk about the lighter heart brand suicide.
The other stupid decision? Yeah, let's hit that.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Matt.
Before we do that, I did want to say like the last thing. The thing that was more involved about this is that Rikishi's promotion was a WWE ID affiliated promotion, and after this, they got dropped. Like I think it's unofficial necessarily, but they on their social media or whatever like had it plastered. Oh, we're WWE ID, and all of a sudden that got removed. So people were like, oh, okay.
I mean, you have to if you're WWE. That would just be like, no, we can't. Like,
it's like I said, as soon as it broke containment, that actually like national media or international media is actually covering this. It's like they don't want any of the bad publicity, which is something that you're gonna see things like this happening a lot in the future. Like when you have bad publicity, you're gonna see like TKO now that it's now basically corporate owned. You're gonna see like things companies, whatever, they're gonna be dropped like a hot potato.
Yeah, but
whenever
like
it potentially hurts the bottom line.
Even past the bad PR though, like, are you gonna send any talent you value to a promotion where they might get literally beaten almost to death? Like,
no.
Like you can't,
absolutely not.
Or not do anything whenever it does. If something like that happens.
Yeah, past the bad PR, it's like you can't ever trust that promotion to take good care of your affiliated people. So like, I mean, they're probably like, oh no, drop. Like we can't work with that. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I agree. Like from a practical perspective, like no. But as a bigger picture, I've had this theory. I think I've mentioned on the show before, but the reason why like people are all the people who are really like hardcore WWE fans still, or the Jim Cornette fans, I guess. Those people like they're just praying for like the demise of AEW. Which again, if you care about pro wrestling, you shouldn't do that. But you shouldn't also, because the reason why I do feel like AEW has a good chance to survive long term. It's not even business decisions, things like that. I mean that matters obviously, but it's that it is owned by a guy. It is the pet project, the you can say vanity project, but it's the labor of love of a guy who is a lifelong wrestling fan. He's in his early 40s. There's pictures of him at ECW shows when he was a teenager. He's been a fan for 20 plus years, 25 years. He's been a lifelong fan of pro wrestling. Pro wrestling is like it's his passion. Like he wants this.
Yeah.
So he is more likely, it's family owned, he owns it. He's more likely to kind of keep this going as long as he can. Maybe 20 years from now, he's in his 60s. It's like, you know what? It's time for me to like hang it up as owner, whatever. But he will make decisions. When did things kind of? He's a horrible person, but when Vince McMahon sold WWE, I said at the time, it's like this potentially is real bad, because now once this just an asset on a ledger for a corporation, then they can pull moves that potentially will really, really hurt the company if they feel like that's the right thing to do for the corporation, not for WWE, for the corporation. And you haven't really seen that yet because it's been very profitable and successful. But if something happens,
well, I think
the corporation will act in the corporation's interest. So you have little things like this where it's like a WWE ID company is doing this nonsense, done, dropped it. And that's simple to them because they don't want the embarrassment, they don't want the smoke. Rob Viper actually had an interesting thread today, which again is kind of in the same vein. He said something. It's nowhere near as big as this, but there was an incident recently at a AAA show.
Luchadors being luchadors, essentially.
Yeah, well, a guy at a AAA show, in the stands, like the guy they have, Taurus, who's basically did the gimmick that Beast Mortos did used to do, but AAA owns the gimmick.
Yeah.
So they just stuck a new dude in it. But anyway, he was like he was wrestling a tag team match with 3 other guys, and there's a guy in the stands, and he like hit Taurus with like a camera or something. He like hit him.
It was accidental.
Was it? I don't know if it was or not, but
It was
luchadors being luchadors, he turned around.
Person said it was incidental, but it was enough that you'd feel it, is essentially what I had read.
Maybe. But luchadors being luchadors, they turned around and just swung. You're going to hit me? And so he swung, but he didn't hit the guy. He hit a young girl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if she's like a teenager or early 20s.
She looked like 12 or 13, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think she was probably a teenager. I don't think she was that young, but she looked.
Yeah, she looked real.
Young.
She looked real young to me.
And it badly cut her eye. She got damaged pretty bad.
She had glasses, so if you ever had glasses and you get I had my dog headbutt me once when I was trying to hold on to her, and I got a black eye because she pushed my glasses back in my eye. So
yeah,
and they were very apologetic too. Once he realized what happened,
they're apologetic. Yeah,
but
it got smoothed over.
But the other thing he said though is people are telling her to sue the WWE, which I don't even know if that's a possibility. But they didn't even have anything to do with it, but they're catching flack for it.
And that's what Rob Viper said. He made a comment, which he didn't make it seem like, oh, it was a big incident, guys. He didn't say it was on the level of Raja. He didn't say it's oh, it's a big thing. Watch out for the girl's gonna sue, whatever. He didn't say that. But he made a comment, which I'm he's right. He's absolutely right. Is that now what TKO is doing, especially when they're trying to get so many fingers in pies to stop people like AEW or CMLL from being successful. They're trying to put fingers in every pie, but it's but also spreading your name everywhere and getting so involved in everything, is that things that are happening are now things that are happening with all these affiliate promotions that you're linking up with that are completely out of your control. And this is a great incident. You're going to have a luchador do luchador things and cause an incident at a show, and you're going to have to be not us, and then have to break ties or do something. And it's but you can't control this. It's at a minimum potentially bad publicity for you. And what are you going to do? It's well, we didn't have anything to do with it. It doesn't matter. You decided to buy AAA, put your name on everything. So anything that goes sideways with them or some of their workers into your promotion, it's going to fall back on you.
And some of those, and the other problem with that is I don't know with the specific person that did that, but they've only got some contracted talent, so you could just get some moron that Conan booked for a show that punches a little girl, and suddenly you're in deep crap over it.
So that same thread that you were talking about, Matt, Viper points out that CMLL has a non-involvement policy. They say, if someone in the crowd does that, you walk away, you tell security, and you let them handle it. You don't do it yourself. It's
a very professional way to do it. Look.
Yeah.
We all love LA Park just hauling off and punching dudes in the stands, but really probably shouldn't.
But the problem is I think why that had to be put a stop to is it's kind of funny, but that escalates on both sides, because he was also talking about how there's guys on the indie scene, including LA Park, that just look for people to harass so they can punch them, and people go to those shows because they want to participate. So that's just an escalating cycle of escalating.
It's going to get worse and worse and worse.
But where I've said I'm concerned repeatedly with TKO owning the WWE is what happens when they go cold again, which they're starting to do. What happens when all the numbers start going down, and that you can do everything right. That's just wrestling. It's cyclical. You're gonna have cold periods, and they're kind of heading into that. And I don't know if they're ready for that, because UFC's kind of been lucky and they haven't hit a real lull in business. But I don't know how they're gonna handle that. The TV money will carry them, but what are they gonna do when attendance is down?
But UFC had a problem, which behind the scenes they were honest with themselves and realized it's they did the thing that WWE basically Vince McMahon was able to do, where it's the brand is the star. They have individual stars, but it's the brand is what's really
he freaked
the
out
star.
after. He freaked out the first time Lesnar quit. That's why they went to the brand as the star, because they didn't want someone to do that to them again.
that was the mentality, and EOC had to basically adopt that because it's like you stopped having stars now, and part of that is because like we need like at least one big show every month, and it's like it's not like wrestling where it's fake.
Yeah.
So you could have like your big star main event every pay-per-view every month.
Yeah.
12 pay-per-views, same main star. You can have Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the day, like main event every show. But unless there's an injury, like UFC, it's not like you have a guy who fights, like he fights January, he probably shouldn't fight again for a few months.
There's a lot
give his body time, even if he was a victory, like even if he won, like he should just not fight again because it's like
but
risk the long term.
But the other thing with UFC though is UFC more organically creates stars, because to get like title shots and to be the champion, you have to win a lot. And you develop favorites. It's kind of actually UFC is a lot like old wrestling was in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And there's just logical progression. So like you see that guy come in and you see him go up and he might win 3 or 4 fights to get a title shot and then win the title. So you've got to go on that journey with him and get to know him a bit and stuff. So UFC actually has a more organic path of handling making stars. And they honestly do, like with the weigh-ins and stuff, they do the pro wrestling part better than pro wrestling does anymore.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
But
more often than not.
The fact that everything again is like content, and we gotta have a pay-per-view every month. It's like, well, you can't do the same top guy in the same division, like weight class. You need multiple stars, and yes, they can create guys organically, but it's like you don't have necessarily like enough big stars to do like 12 main events.
No, you don't.
Every month or more shows. Like it really, it's more shows. It's not just like we have one pay-per-view, that's it. Like you have other shows that you do.
No, but they're
you know
what you're getting. Like their shows are tiered. So like pay-per-view, you're getting the big guys. If it's like a fight night I don't think they do Apex anymore. But like when you get to the other tier shows, okay, well we're getting into like the mid-level guys, the debuters, the guys that are kind of up and comers. Like when you watch like a UFC show, what caliber of guys you're gonna get usually.
Yeah, and I get that. It's like let's do AEW Pro Wrestling. It's like, yeah, maybe you're gonna main event this show with Hangman Page versus MJF. Okay, 2 big stars. Collision, maybe you're gonna have Daniel Garcia against Christian Cage. It's like that's actually a big match still, but it's like you're not gonna main event your pay-per-view with that necessarily. But they moved past like the fact that they had so much content, they don't necessarily have the star power. They kind of moved towards like the UFC is the brand, where it's like, well, we don't have pay-per-views anymore. Now we just signed this big streaming deal. We're gonna do big shows, but it's not pay-per-view necessarily. Yeah. Like they did that, and they're gonna be they're already very profitable doing that.
Oh, they're gonna make
WWE
buttload of money off
WWE.
Of
that. They're gonna go cold. They're gonna cold for no other reason than TKO. Because people, again, the people who are like the really hardcore Fed fans, just love to talk about like figures, numbers, and everything like that. And it's like, oh, AEW only got like 20,000 people for like Forbidden Door, and it's like, yeah, that actually would beat the last time the WWE did a show here like 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago. But whatever, like. They would SummerSlam had more people. It's like SummerSlam had like what, 30,000 people, 40,000, well maybe 50,000, but the venue holds 30,000 more. So you didn't do 30,000 more. You could have. You didn't. Why not? And it's because TKO is like they don't give a shit. If a venue holds like 80,000 people, they're fine with 50,000 because they're charging so much money. And I know they are. Like friend of the show, Christy Petrillo, talked with him not that long ago. He was going to take his kid to like a show, like a WWE show in his area. And it's like, no, because it's like this amount of money for us to go. And it was insane. It's like,
it was like a vacation price.
Yeah. It's like mid-level seats. It's like hundreds of dollars per seat. And it's like mid-level. I'm not asking like, oh, if me and my son, just us, not my wife, just me and my son, were to go to the show. It's not like, oh, we want to get ringside seats, but both of us going ringside seats for like Raw would have been like $1,000 total, which would have been a lot. It's like, oh, we can do like, mid-level, so not nosebleeds, but no, not close to the ring for like, oh, we could, for 600. It's like, I wouldn't pay that shit. What am I gonna do? Go pay $600, sit mid-level of Raw, and then I see, like a 3-minute match with like Finn Balor versus like Otis or something like that. It's like,
Well, I mean,
why?
I wouldn't even go to wrestling. I want to see if it was $600 for 2 tickets. Like, I'm sorry, that's just too much.
No.
Back in the day, I've done 3 Manias live, 3 Manias, and I for sure didn't even come close to paying $600 for my ticket. Maybe like 200. Maybe
Yeah, I would pay.
a
I'd
little
pay
more than that.
if I was gonna
Maybe.
go with someone and get mid-level seats. It was gonna be like $200. Yeah, I'd do that.
If it's like a big show, maybe.
I would
But
do it
like,
for. I would do it for. I mean, I wouldn't go to WWE, but like if I was to go on to like Dynamite, I'd probably do it for $200. Like when I would go to WWE shows, like I might have done that back in the day. NXT, I think I paid like $90 for like third row once.
Check this out. Last AEW show I went to, first row of the stands. So first row of the bowl, the first row of seats that wasn't on the floor. After fees, $70.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's about what it was when I went. But like,
you know what? I'd pay that.
Yeah,
A good ticket for AEW, like $70. I could do that. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, and I might go to like a WWE house show, and I've done that even up until right before COVID hit. I think I went to a house show just because it was wrestling, and I think I paid what I pay, $35 maybe for a decent seat for a house show. Like, there's a price point where I'd even consider it. Like, I've even looked when they've come for pay-per-views, and like there were reasonable tickets. I just didn't want to go. But like, even if like AEW is coming to town and they wanted $250 for a ticket, like, no, I'm not going. Like, you're asking too much of me.
I'm a big fan of AEW. Love AEW. I don't see how my wife isn't. Again, I've shared my wife isn't really that into wrestling, like at all. Like she will go to shows with me, but we have 2 kids, 2 small kids. So let's say we leave them at home. I got to pay a babysitter. Like I can't tell you. It would have to be like All Out Texas, like the huge show. Like for me to even contemplate, like
But you
would I pay
gotta.
$500 plus like a babysitter? Like I wouldn't. That'd be too much probably. But it'd have to be like that level to be like 250.
But
But
see,
otherwise, if I'm paying $250 a ticket, it's like I need to be ringside. Now I don't think I even pay. I wouldn't pay 250 to like be ringside on like a Dynamite or Collision. It'd be like maybe if I'm ringside paying $500 to me and my wife to sit ringside at like a pay-per-view,
I don't
like
think
a
I'd
major
even
thing,
pay that.
or I would even contemplate. Not say I would do it. Contemplate.
But you have to take into account.
That's
So
a
you,
lot of money.
you have to pay to park. So let's say you start $500 for tickets. You have to pay to park. If it's an AEW pay per view, you're going to be there long enough. You're going to have to eat. So that's probably going to be for two of you, probably close to $100 in food, and probably drinks over the course of the thing.
I'm gonna have some drink.
Yeah,
have a couple beers at least.
So you're probably pushing into the 600s, and then you're probably going to possibly eat out after or before because it's a night out. So you're going to add another, I don't know, 40 or $50 on top of that. So you're talking, when all said and done, and that's not even talking about merch. So you would probably be in like 7 or 750 just for a wrestling show. That's a lot.
yeah.
Again, I wouldn't pay that much, but it'd have to be like the biggest AEW show, not even of the year, like of like the last 2-3 years.
It just-
Like All Out Texas was a big show that a lot of storylines were concluded or wrapped up there or really came to a head. Then it's like it would have to be like that level for me to be like, do I? But there are people who went to that show that they didn't pay remotely close to that. Maybe
No.
again, maybe the people who were near the ring paid
No,
a lot of money. But
I think we priced it, and you could have gotten like mid-range for like $60.
Oh, we were talking about the show beforehand. I'm like, if I just like left to go see this show, I think I priced it and it would have been like a few hundred, but that's because it's like I was just for this hypothetical, like, what if I go like right now when the show's like, let's say, what if I leave like it's Tuesday? What if I leave like Friday when the show is like Saturday? It's like, okay, yeah, last minute. The flight would have been expensive. The hotel wasn't even going to be like that expensive. It would have been like a couple $100 maybe for like 2 nights.
Yeah, you could have found an
Maybe
Airbnb
300.
for cheaper. Probably.
It would have been like relatively cheap. The flight would have been like $400 or $500 because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm leaving like last minute.
Yeah.
That would have been like expensive, but otherwise, like going to the show and getting like a good ticket, just the show and even the hotel would have been $400, maybe $400. It's like I could have done this. What if I had booked my flight? I'm like, I want to go to it. What if I booked my flight like 6 months in advance? So it would have been cheap.
You could have done.
I could have done that for like $500, probably. Could have done the whole trip for $500. And I'm not. I don't live close to like Texas. That's halfway across the country to me.
You could have done cheaper on the hotel than 300 or 400. You could have gone like slightly out of town at some like not a flea bag like. At least enough that you wouldn't at least enough where you wouldn't get head lice. You could probably get like $90 a night at like a.
When I was doing the hypothetical, I was looking at places that were like literally a mile away from like the stadium. It's like so close. I in theory could have walked there.
You could have found like a Best Way or like a Motel 6, and you would have been substantially cheaper.
Yeah.
And had free breakfast at Best Way.
At Best.
All right, so I think we've very fully explored this. The other big non-wrestling thing that happened before we get into the wrestling thing that happened was the massively, staggeringly out of touch. I mean, amazingly stupid decision.
Did they lose? They lost like $250 million in stock value over this.
Yeah. By the CEO and board of directors of Cracker Barrel to make Cracker Barrel not Cracker Barrel. And right before we went live, I was looking for a particular article, and you know what I found? They caved. They were going to put out the new logo that was just the basic,
it was the most generic
Photoshop.
logo.
Yes, that was just the words Cracker Barrel on an orange background, and that was it. And they've caved and decided to pivot and bring Uncle Herschel back.
You know what was hilarious is everyone was memeing on them. Like even the Columbus Metro Library was like, "Hey, here's our new logo," and it was the new Cracker Barrel logo. Like all these other companies were doing that.
And here's the thing that gets me about the whole process is the first time it came out, I was like, what in the hell are they doing? And I went looking. And after they made the announcement, they had their CEO go on, I don't know if it was today or what, to talk about it. And she is babbling she's basically word vomiting meaningless corporate speak of, we want the Cracker Barrel of today and tomorrow so that it reaches across cultural touchstones or some crap like that. It's like, that doesn't mean anything. Cracker Barrel was established in like the 60s to look like the 20s. It always looked old. It's supposed to look old. That's the point. It's supposed to look like a 1920s general store and serve comfort food. That's the idea. What are you doing? Oh, here we go. Let's take away, let's change the logo because that always works so well. And then, by the way, if you have, I think it was 30 or 50 stores they remodeled to take all the decorating you're aware of, and then have something that might kind of sort of look like the old decorating if you squint just right, but make it millennial gray. Just that drab, inoffensive gray. It's terrible.
And where the hell am I supposed to get my Big League Chew now if they redesign all of them?
And so one of the things, this hit my news feed today, and full disclosure, this came from it is a Fox Business article by Azra Nomani, Nomani, who actually goes through. There was a filing with the SEC by top investor Sardar Biglari. By the way, the top stockholder for Cracker Barrel is BlackRock. The people that are ruining,
The housing market.
home ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy wrote a 7-page memo that said, hey, quit screwing it up. You're doing everything wrong. You want to do it right? Fix the food, fix the service. You're done. And instead, the board labeled him as an activist investor. Instead of being like, hey, this is one of our biggest investors who's trying to say, don't do this, but we're doing it anyway.
And I think they pissed off like all of their investors when they did this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Cracker Barrel opened in 1969, so I was almost wrong about that.
Because I've never seen anything as universally reviled as this. Like, it was, like, I don't think the only people trying to try to defend it were Redditors that thought this was like some vaguely conservative like backlash, and not just like everyone being like, this is stupid.
Right. I think we all know the real reason this was happening. It's wokeness. DEI, right? That's why.
I think I do
DEI.
I do think, based on the type of people that were doing this, I think there was a strong undercurrent of, this is country, so that must mean it's Southern, and because it's Southern, it's bad. I think there was a strong undercurrent of that in there.
So I saw a video where a guy pointed it out, and it's one of those things which, to use like a very like dramatic expression, it's like the scales fell from my eyes. And as soon as I saw this, he didn't just mention Cracker Barrel. He mentioned like other companies, and he said this, and it's one of those things. It's like I gonna use a dramatic way to put it, but it's like it's one of those things like once you see it, you can't unsee it. He explained it, and I'm like, oh my god, is that it? And I did a little research, and I'm like, oh my god, this guy's onto something. He's right, which I'll get to it in a second. But just in general, the whole like the changing of I think you're right. It's like Southern, like we don't want that. It's like, but that's the charm. Like that's why I want to go to Cracker Barrel. Like my family is from the South. Okay, I don't perceive Cracker Barrel as like that big Southern straight Cracker Barrel.
No one does.
It's like
no one.
No,
does.
but it's like I can go to Cracker Barrel, and I can look at the menu, and it's like, what do I want? It's like, oh my god, they got fried okra. My parents used to make fried okra for me when I was little, because like I love, like they're from the South. Like how many like Yankees, how many Northern people are like even know what the hell an okra is? It's a vegetable, like, and sometimes you fry it, and it's real good. It's breaded, fry it, it's real tasty. Like they serve that at Cracker Barrel. Like I've gone to Cracker Barrel. The only time I've really gone to Cracker Barrel is because my wife and I every year try to go to the beach in Chincoteague, Virginia, and there's like a long drive there. It's like a 3-hour drive that somehow winds up being like 5 hours, because you got to go up, you got to cross the Bay Bridge. Basically, like from where we live, we're like here. I'm gonna like do the visual here. Like so, we're here. Like Chincoteague's over here, but there's no like straight shot here. You basically got to go like, because it's in like Maryland. It's in Maryland. It's contiguously connected to Maryland, but it's somehow part of Virginia. It's like this. It makes no sense. It's just not even remotely connected to the Virginia landmass. Anyway, it's like we're here. It's over here. It's like there's like this in here is like water. It's like the ocean. So it's like we have to go like up here, like into Maryland, like past Baltimore, up here, the Bay Bridge, and then we gotta go all the way down. So it's like this big like U-shaped, and it's supposed to be a 3-hour drive. You put it like your GPS. It's like a 5-hour drive, because like you always hit traffic. Yeah, it's like it's a mess. Anyway, long drive there and back. there is like right over, like right here, like past the Bay Bridge, there is a Cracker Barrel. So my wife sometimes has been like, we've been at the car like 3 hours, and it's supposed to be a 3 hour drive. We've been at 3 hours. We have like 3 hours to go. So we stop at that Cracker Barrel, and we eat a Cracker Barrel. My wife is from Texas. Like Cracker Barrel, it's like I don't even think Cracker Barrel was like a thing in San Antonio where she's from. Like maybe, but anyway, it's fun. It's like, oh, we got a Cracker Barrel, get some fried okra, get some country fried steak or something like that. It's delightful.
This is what happens when your management team all went to the same schools, live in the same two cities, and have never interacted with anyone that's outside of those cities, and unironically says things like flyover country and thinks like someone like
flyover country,
and it thinks,
I think,
and it thinks
let's remove all
unironically
the southern things.
Yeah.
And let's just have like just some stuff in the wall, a gray wall, and it's like no.
And unironically thinks someone like me that is from a city that has a metro area of 2 million people ride cows to work because it's not like it's not Chicago, DC, LA, or New York. Like this is what happens when you live in an echo chamber. You make stupid decisions like this because I guarantee you they were really stuck on the country and southern thing, and I bet you they were also convinced that those things were also racist because the South equals racism. But like you said, like, do people walk in and go, oh, like look at all the cute country stuff? It's usually like, oh, I want to go to a place that has the cool old candy and the little peg game I can play while I wait for my food, and oh, the biscuits are good.
And the stone fireplace.
Yeah.
Look, this whole thing was done by a bunch of people who have never been to Cracker Barrel and wouldn't go even after the redesign. But they know what it's supposed to be, and they're going to fix it for everybody else.
Yeah.
God almighty. I never was on the Eat the Rich bandwagon, but man, I'm getting real close to hopping aboard, I got to tell you.
And they don't like the clientele either. I'm guessing they don't know what the clientele is, but they don't like the clientele because they're scary and they might think differently than them.
People that have never had meatloaf in their life are dictating stuff about Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, it's just stupid, and this is not the first brand that has shown active disdain for their consumers and tanked their...
What are you going to say, Matt?
I just said that, it got me thinking. It's like to get up, but they're way higher brands beer and other content that it kind of judge like what people do, and I say that guys, people, it's like this was a girl, I don't know where it's like you high head of it's like need for culture part of it. You're like you're gonna get out nature, like I could like want to move from the frap rope like that. Your client you let away from you're not crap. It's not likewise they're really it's like no, you do cheap beer, like that's your appeal. So trying to move away from that, try to be you're already like you're lost. Yeah, doing.
Stay in your lane.
It's like from really and like they I like design. It's like you self. Yes, a weird golf believe but is supposed to be even this. It don't understand that. You're gonna that.
Matt, you're getting super choppy again, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, like I don't dream is off, but I mentioned before I saw a video of a guy who explained like what the element is. It's like made a joke, but it's not wokeness. It's not DEI. It is unfortunately pure naked like late stage capitalism, because he argued it's like, why is Cracker Barrel turning this way? Why do all McDonald's now, instead of looking like the old, like, specific, like McDonald's look, it's like the big gray box? Why is Pizza Hut not the really fun, like, Pizza Hut roof? It's all, just another gray box.
Those are coming back, actually.
It's because a lot of these companies actually, what people don't know, I didn't know this, it's that they are, like, they own the land that the restaurants are on. So they want to build the buildings to basically be like just a nondescript box, because if they were like, we don't want to have a McDonald's in this location, they want to basically just sell this and then something else can go in its place. And that person doesn't have to be like, I got to tear down these golden arches, like build something different. Or Pizza Hut, it's like, got to get rid of this red roof, like put something else in it. Yeah, they want it basically like, you can just, here's a nondescript gray box of a building. Like, we're going to sell this to you. You can move in. You put like whatever. You put your like bicycle store in here. Used to be McDonald's, but who cares? It's a gray box. Like, there you go. Actually looked up Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel has nearly 660 locations nationwide. They own 2/3 of those locations. So it's like, well, of course you want to just make Cracker Barrel a big gray box too. Because then if you ever decide like, we're gonna remove this Cracker Barrel, you can just sell it to whatever. Like, now this Cracker Barrel is an urgent care or something, and it's like, well, whatever. You can have this big gray box of a building now, and you sold it, and now it's just an asset in a ledger. So again, capitalism rears its ugly head.
I think,
but it doesn't make any sense, because they're all built right next to the interstate. So if they're easy to see, because people want to hop off the interstate and go somewhere with food they're familiar with that's not a drive-through.
I think
so. Doing that method is self-defeating, because who wants to have their place, whatever it is, built right next to the interstate like that?
Yeah, I think wokeness gets overused by people, but I do think it does factor into some of these decisions, because, like, I actually think, I don't think this is a wokeness thing, but I think that mentality fed into this, where they think like, oh, we want to get people like us to eat there, like people that aren't going to eat there. Like when people talk about the modern audience that doesn't exist, they're kind of doing that with Cracker Barrel. And instead of like actually getting new people, they're just pissing everyone else off. And the people that actually are giving the money right now. So I think like, I think that's a weird thing to say, but I think if someone's saying it's wokeness, it's not. But I think the mentality that comes out of that mindset is feeding this. Like, I don't know if that sounds like way stupid, but that's what I think is happening.
Yeah.
But I think this is also what happens, and what a lot of these companies are having trouble with, which I think also like does feed into the wokeness thing a little bit at times, is you're getting an echo chamber. These people all go to the same schools. They all think the same way. They're all from the same places. And then they make these stupid decisions. They're like, well, why doesn't anyone else like it? It's because you're making a decision that appeals to your sensibilities, which is not like a vast majority of the country.
Oh God, I remember seeing something about this. What happens is they hire people from the Kinsey Group, who hire MBAs straight out of college, and they say, oh, how are we going to be profitable again? And they send these people who have never worked anywhere else other than Kinsey Group to go tell them how to do it, and it ends up putting them into the ditch.
Yeah.
But you would think somebody would look around and go, hey, do they actually have a positive track record?
Yeah, but look what happened to the guy that told them not to do that.
They just ignored him, yeah.
Yeah, because he spoke against their orthodoxy.
Yeah, we know better. We know better, so we're going to do this. And here's the thing. That guy is like the majority owner of Steak and Shake or something. What did they change about Steak and Shake? During COVID, they couldn't get waiters, so they made it virtual orders. Like, the food didn't change. So what did they do is they reworked other things. And they're doing fine. So here you have this guy who might have an idea of what he's talking about. But then these folks, no, we know better. It's like, oh
But have you
God,
thought that he didn't have the right fancy piece of paper that means jack all?
Well, he said something they didn't like, so they labeled him as an activist investor.
Yeah.
What the hell does that even mean? It doesn't.
Like,
it's just Garbo corporate speak.
look at all those, like, look at some of the biggest clusterfucks. There's always someone that tells them not to do it, and they always get ignored.
All right, so that's enough. That's plenty of raging. Let's go into something that's a little bit more fun and more up our alley.
This is going to be ragey because I did not care for this.
Well, God, I'm trying to make something
I went into
Forbidden Door.
I went into this with an open mind and excited, and it's not Forbidden Door because I didn't see it.
No. The Forbidden Door was the springboard for it. This past Sunday was Forbidden Door, which was a fun show. One of the big stories that came out of it is that there were a lot of American fans that for the first time in the TBS 4-way, one of the people who was in it was a woman who's working for Stardom, she's a German woman, I think she's 20, 21, who goes by the moniker Bozilla. And she's 6 feet tall, and from watching the Forbidden Door match, she wrestles like Vader, and it's really cool. And so we were like, oh, we should. I fit the meme. It's like all these people saw Bozilla for the first time and think she's the greatest thing ever. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm kind of fitting on that because I really enjoyed her work in that match.
And who dumb fuck Rossi didn't see anything and let her walk and then shit talked her on the way out because he's a foolish old man.
She's basically female, girl Vader, basically. Yeah. She has a lot of potential. Rossi did want to have. Rossi did have her, and I don't know. It's like he didn't see anything in her. Like he's like there's something to her. I think the fact that she just left him for Stardom, I think it's like him trying to save face. It's like, oh, she wasn't that big of a deal anyway. It's like, really.
Yeah. Ross, oh God, Kenny Omega's just right about Rossi. Just trust that.
Well, I think what's gonna hurt Marigold and him, and I think it has hurt them a little bit, is he won't work with AEW, and he has this connection to the WWE that I don't even really think exists because they haven't done much with him. But she left, and within 6 months, she probably went to AEW and got the biggest payday of her career. And I think there's a lot of loyalty in Japan, but how long are you gonna watch other women that might even be less of a star than you get big payoffs for going to AEW and working some dates?
Well, I mean, part of the reason why I think WWE hasn't worked with Marigold, it's who on the roster would they want?
No one.
Would be a marketable star for them. Utami is a great worker.
She's not.
But does she really fit what they want? No.
I don't think, and I think she's not I don't think she would have I think she's a great worker, and I think she'd probably be okay in AEW, but I don't think she has that it factor that you kind of need for North American fans.
No. Mayu is a great worker. Great. And she's still young. I think she's only she's done it's ridiculous that she's done everything in Stardom.
Yeah.
And I think she's 30, 31. She's ridiculously young. And she's a great worker. But it's how she's not gonna translate in WWE.
And she already got hurt. And she already got hurt in Marigold once.
Yeah. And who else do they have? They don't have really anyone. Mirai? Mirai, no. They don't have anyone. The main star they had was Julia. And Julia, let's be, that's a whole separate conversation that we could spend a lot of time talking about. She has been, and I like her, she has been a wet fart in WWE. She she has done worse in WWE
Then I
with
thought
their
she
fan
would.
base. Oh, like tremendously so. And part of that is like, who are they? Who's the fan base they're
Well, I think what hurts her.
cultivating?
I think what
It's
hurts
like, I
her.
think it says something that they're more into Stephanie Vacker and her ass-based offense
Yeah,
than
but
Julia, and it's
but I
like,
think the
I see
problem.
what's happening here.
But the problem is though, and I think it does hurt her. But Stephanie Vacker is better than her, like in every regard. She's better than her. She has more star power. I think she has more charisma. So I think like she did get overshadowed by Stephanie Vacker. But if you had put them both in AEW at the same time, she would have gotten overshadowed by Stephanie Vacker in AEW too. And she just like Stephanie Vacker is just, she just has some it factor that Julia doesn't. And I don't know. I think they've not done her any favors with booking, and like kind of always kind of bunching her up with Stephanie Vacker, which just kind of shows. I don't know. I just think it was a bad move putting her and having her and Stephanie Vacker debut so close together, because Stephanie's just a better worker than her in every regard. But back to Bozilla.
Yes.
So we had a little limited time. So we decided to do a match outside of this because she's a very memorable worker.
Yes. And I can't remember who posted it. Who was the person that posted there's a Twitter thread with Bozilla matches.
Let me look it up.
Okay. So we pulled the first one off that list.
Yeah, so is this from this year, Matt? It has to be from this year.
I feel like it should have. It was that. I think it was Joey Janela's Spring Break. I think it was.
Yeah,
this
it
year.
was.
Let me hold on one second. Okay. The Twitter user was Alex Lajas.
Okay.
Handle is Queen of the Ring with 2 G's in ring. She posted a host and producer. She has a YouTube.
Okay.
I don't really follow her, but she posted a thread of Brazilian matches. The first one was Megan Bain of AEW fame versus Bozilla, and it was at Game Changer Wrestling's Joey Janela Spring Break. And she posted other stuff, which was mostly from Marigold.
Yeah.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3. At least 3 matches from Marigold. One was, I think, Pro Wrestling Eve.
Yeah, so we're gonna be talking about the match with Megan Bain. What was with the weird like AI thing they were doing mid match that was like cringe as fuck?
Oh, the weird like it got
Yeah.
almost like they interjected the feed, to cut the feed. I don't know what that was. Like I didn't see the show.
I wasn't sure either.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was jarring. It's like, what is this?
I would say
that's a good way of putting it.
I don't know who the color guy was, but I do enjoy Veda Scott on commentary. She's very good.
She did a good job.
She's always pretty good. So I went into this, I was kind of excited. I like Megan Bain generally. I like Bozilla, and this match did not work for me for a lot of reasons.
Brief pause. This did happen at Joey Janela's Spring Break number 9, April 18th of this year.
Okay.
But I wanted a Haas fight out of this, and I think I went in wanting a Haas fight. They did not give me a Haas fight. Like, Bozilla was game to do a Haas fight, and she was very Haas fighty with it, and Megan Bain just... So that she does like a suicide dive like real early in the match, and I was like, oh no, this is not going to be what I want.
So we had this match, and we started off with Bozilla basically overpowering Megan Bain, and it makes sense because Bozilla's bigger than Megan Bain, and Bozilla's taking advantage of her side and tossing Megan Bane around. And when Bane's doing her comeback, she's working like she's working from underneath like she's a smaller worker. Like you said, a dive through the ropes and that sort of stuff. And I'm like, now wait a minute. Like, in my head, the comparison that I had was back in WCW, the Giant versus Kevin Nash matches. Nash didn't start working like he was smaller than he was.
No.
He was still working as a tall dude.
You just worked as the smaller big guy.
Yeah.
Because so, what I wanted to see, and I think what you do if you're the smaller big guy in a match is you chop the bigger big guy down to size, especially if you're the face.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was also not clear about who was supposed to be the face in this. Megan was supposed to be the Megan face. Did not carry herself like a face.
Her comebacks were, but the way the match was structured, she was doing face comebacks, and I would think she would be more familiar to the crowd, which would make her the face. Is how I took it. I think she was supposed to be the face.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, behind the scenes, Megan Bane and Joey Janela, who does Joey Janela's Spring Break, they are actually romantically involved. So, I mean, she's part of it. But yes, she was playing the role of the face.
And she was working underneath, which I think typically is a face role. Do heels ever work underneath? Rarely.
Like, you can... We're going to set that aside. That's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah,
I would
that could go
say
for
sometimes, but sometimes it's not. It's a little more rare, and I think it's very particular. Like you have to work at, I think, a certain style. This, I agree. Like this was interesting. Like she was the face, and I'm with you. Like I had to look up Megan Bane's height. I mean, she's billed at 5'11". I had to look to see how high. What the height of Bozilla is supposed to be. Like you mentioned 6 foot, that's probably right. Or close to it. And she is bigger than Megan Bane, but it's not, you're not dealing with someone who is, it's not like you have Bozilla who's 6 feet and she's going up against Starlight Kid in Stardom who is 4'11", 5 foot tall. It's not, you don't have a foot. It's you have maybe a couple inches. And Bozilla is...
They're both 5'11".
Basically... Okay. Bozilla is... Her body is structured a different way.
She's kind of like a mini powerlift. She's kind of, actually... It's good. She's built like Big E.
She's built broader.
She's built like Big E.
She's broader.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the way to describe it more boxy.
Yeah, she's like I said, she's built like Big E. She's built like Big E is. She's just a little.
I don't mean that in any disparative way. I feel I as a guy, I have a big.
She's got a wide
torso.
She's got a wide mid, she's got wide hips, broad shoulders, her midsection. She's wide.
She's wide, and again, that there's no disparity in that and anything. It's just shit's boxy. I'm boxy.
No, I am too.
If anything, I have big love handle.
No,
you guys can't see.
I am too. Shad's met me. I'm wide.
Yeah.
I'm probably wider than Shad is, and Shad's taller than me.
I don't know what I am. I'm just
I'm
tall, but I don't know what.
I'm gonna do the William Regal push up the push the myself. There you go. Megan Bane's the same height, and she's well built, well muscled.
She's leaner,
but she is a little more curvy, for lack of a way to put it. She's more evenly proportioned, if that makes a weird sense.
She's like a
what is there.
She's more. She has a more. Oh, I hate to say this because I'm not trying to shit on Bozilla. She's built. She has a more feminine build than I would say Bozilla does.
Yes,
she has a narrower figure.
Yeah,
I think you hit it on the head earlier. Bozilla looks like a power lifter.
Yeah.
And there's a certain, if you're going to be a good power lifter, there's a certain amount that goes into that. And, being broad really helps a lot with that.
Let me say it like this. I think this might encapsulate it. So Bozilla is a big woman, and Megan Bain is a woman that looks big. Would be kind of like. And I don't mean
Megan Bain's a tall woman. Bozilla is a tall, big woman.
But I mean, Megan Bain's still big for her height though, because she's well built.
Right. But I'm trying to articulate in comparison to each other.
It's so funny. Like, it's three dudes trying to dance around this.
Well, no, I don't know how to describe it, because it is
Megan Bain is kind of well proportioned, and by that I mean, like, she has like feminine proportions where it's like she's curvy, I think that, but she's, she has like a strong upper body. She has like strong thighs, like, and everything, but she has like more narrow waist, whereas
she's more like
Bozilla's kind of more power lifter. It's like
she's kind of more like a bodybuilder. Like, she's more kind of like an Alexa Bliss style, like fitness bodybuilder, and Bozilla is more
like a weightlifter.
Bozilla's more like, I'm a big person with functional, like, I have like functional athlete, like lifter muscles, not like show muscles. Yes. Is kind of the difference.
Yeah.
It's hard. I'm trying to set it. It's hard because we're trying to set a visual picture, and it's like you're trying to use terminology, because like they're big in different ways.
Yes. And that doesn't make a difference, except for the fact that when Megan Bain is facing almost pretty much any other female opponent, she's the big one. Yeah. Because she's generally at 5'11", she's usually taller than most female workers. Most female workers are between 5 foot to like 5.5 feet. Like, most women are like, my wife is 5.5 feet. Like, and women who are above 5.5 feet, like, you're a tall lady.
And like, you're talking
most
about
workers.
Yeah, if you're talking about 5'7", 5'8", you're well above average, and
yes,
Megan Bain and Bozilla would still have 3 inches on you. And especially if you go to Joshi, like, going down to like 4'10" and 4'11" is pretty common for Joshi workers, so they're even shorter.
Case in point, a recent AEW signing, Thekla. Yeah. Very, very in shape, like, has a great gimmick, like, good look, everything like that. I had to look it up. How tall is she? She's 5'1". And it's like, yeah, I get that, because it's like, you see her with certain people like Queen Aminata. Queen Aminata is like on the taller side. Like, they're kind of like feuding, and Queen Aminata is taller than her. And it's like, well, no, Queen Aminata is not a Haas. Like, it doesn't work that way. It's not like that, but there's a size disparity. Megan Bain up against like square off with Theka, it's like this. It's like she almost has a foot height on her. But there's not that much difference between her and Bozilla, even though Bozilla is built a different way. And it doesn't make. I'm like you, Brad. Like, I'm expecting a Haas match. I'm expecting like 2 big women, replaced with 2 dudes, like 2 big dudes. It's like, I expect them just like square up and just start throwing punches.
It's like,
and Megan Bain didn't do that.
It's like the Big E line: 2 meaty women slapping meat is what I wanted.
Not what happened.
No.
And yet, here's the shame of it, is that neither one of them did anything. Like, what they were doing was not bad. The execution was all fine. But the structure of the match and the why things were done, that's what didn't work.
Yeah, because so if you want an idea, so Bozilla pretty much does power offense the whole time, which I think Bozilla's part of the match is fine. She's doing kind of the Healy thing. She's doing kind of showy power moves, putting Megan Bain down, trying to outpower her at everything. But then when Megan Bain like does her comebacks, a lot of them aren't earned. That there's a problem with how she sells. Her comebacks aren't earned, but she's trying to fly or go to the top rope every time she's on offense. And it's like, what are you doing? Like, you should be like if you get like an opening, why don't you try to choke slam her or like run her over with a clothesline? Don't do like a stinger splash in the corner. Like that's not.
It's like they worked out before the match. It's like, okay, like I'm gonna work like underdog, babyface underdog. I'm gonna play, and it's like, but you're like the same size as her, except that Bozilla again, is more like a power lifter, and you're just like a big, like kind of a Haas type. So you're built a little differently, but you're the same size mostly. So it doesn't work that you're like the plucky babyface underdog. It's like no. Back in the day, like the early '90s, you had great matches between Sting and Vader, and Sting's a big dude, but he can make that work because you're facing a dude who's like 100 pounds bigger than you, like at least 100 pounds bigger than you. So even though like height wise, there's not a big disparity. Sting's a really big, strong, muscular dude. Doesn't get the credit. It's like he was a power lifter back in the day, like especially in the early '90s, like super well built. You know, you stand up against a guy like I love Orange Cassidy. Put Orange Cassidy like now with his really look, Orange Cassidy is in physique that I will never be. Like I will never have like the abs Orange Cassidy has. Orange Cassidy today versus like 92, 93 Sting. It's like Sting's gonna dwarf him in size.
Yeah.
But put Sting up against Vader. Vader like was a monster compared to him. And yet they had amazing matches. And Sting could play like on the plucky, underdog because of the size disparity, but there wasn't that between Bane and Bozilla. So it's like they like worked out. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna play the underdog babyface, and it's like, why? Like it doesn't work.
It should be the
She kept doing it, and it didn't work.
It should be the philosophy of the match should have been the unstoppable force versus the immovable object, and they did not do that.
No. And that
like
go ahead.
What? I'm sorry to cut you off, Chat. It's just that there was some things that Bane was doing that if she was smaller, it would make sense. Where it's like, I'm fighting just to, doing all these moves just to get Bozilla to like get off her feet, which is like, well, yeah, like I've seen that kind of sequence or spot, that concept multiple times. When you have a large opponent, like the smaller opponent, it's like let me run and throw like 4 lariats, 4 big moves to someone. And every time I do a big move, like the first 2 times, they're going to be like flailing. And then finally that last one, it's like, and they're going to drop to their knee and they're going to knock them off their feet. It's like, the emotion of like, I finally did it.
Yeah.
But that works when it's like, I'm a 200-pound dude doing that to like a 300-pound dude.
Right.
It's or like I'm Bret Hart, doing that to, the Ugandan giant Kamala, a guy who's like, 100 pounds bigger than me. And he's going to like flail. I'm going to hit him with like with a clothesline. He's going to flail around, whatever. And then by the 3rd or 4th time, he's finally going to drop off his feet. Crowd's going to go wild, whatever. But that works like that way. Not when it's like, well, there's maybe like a 20-pound difference between the two of you. One just looks a little blockier than you.
Yeah, and
I didn't get it.
I didn't either, because the other thing is like in that situation, like if you're strong enough and you're kind of equal match strength wise, why are you going to go to the top rope when you can just body slam them?
Yeah, there's just too much that doesn't work.
It's like they didn't trust the crowd to go with them for a Haas match.
Mm-hmm.
But it just wasn't what I wanted. I tend to think like my problem is more with like what Megan Bane was doing. Also, her finish wasn't earned. Like the tombstone like out of nowhere, I was like, you really didn't do enough to earn that, and you weren't working like for that either.
Yeah.
Oh, before this, they did the whole powerbomb sequence, and I'm like, that should have been the finisher.
Yeah.
You did multiple power bombs, like you're not gonna have that be the finisher. And I agree. Like I actually wrote in my notes. It's like I actually like Megan Bane. I haven't seen enough of Bozilla to be like, oh, I'm a big Bozilla fan. Not that I dislike her at all, but it's like I haven't seen enough to make the judgment. But I've seen a good amount of Megan Bane, and I like Megan Bane. Like I think that she has a great look. I think she's a pretty good worker. I think that she can improve, but it's like, well, that will come with time. I think she's marketable. I think like she signed with AEW. I think they actually could do a lot with her down the road. So I'm high on Megan Bane, but it's like I don't think she should have gone over. Like I would not have. That's not how I would have booked it.
And
I would have booked the match the way it did. I would not have had her go over.
I might have had her go over. My other problem with the match was they did the indie thing that I hate, where it's like, oh, I'm not going to try to pin you until it's time to pin you and win the match. Like I hate those matches.
Oh yeah, where I had someone asking me about that. They're like, okay, why would you be doing that early? Why would you be going for pins early? And the idea behind it is, if I go for, in kayfabe anyway, suspension disbelief, that sort of thing, early on, if I go for a pinfall, I'm making you expend energy getting out of the pinfall. What am I having to do in order to take gas out of your tank is lay on top of your shoulders real good. You know? And then if you don't do a pin until the very end, then you're just telling everybody, well, okay, I didn't try it until now, so this is what's going to work. That's it. It's like,
and it's
not good match psychology.
And you should always be working to win too. So that's where pinfalls come into play. You should always be working towards winning. That's what I hate when indie workers do that. It's like, well, you're not doing anything to like progress yourself in the match. You're just jerking yourself
doing
off.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I was gonna say, Shad, like back in the day, like late '80s, early '90s, you'd see guys do that sometimes in matches, and you'd have like the savvy commentators, like Jesse Ventura, like he'd point it out. It's like you'd have, I don't know, let's see, like a heel Bret Hart, like be doing that to, like, name a guy, one of the Killer Bees. This is like it's just not. It's a match. Like, he's there. The Hart finish was the Killer Bees. It's like Bret would like. He like pin B Brian Blair. It's like 1, 2, and he kicks out. And he does it immediately again, and you have Jesse be like, look at him, Monsoon, look at him, Gorilla. Like he's putting all the weight on the body, like he's tiring the guy out. It's like they would actually discuss the psychology of it. It's like, yeah, like he's going for the pin because that's the goal of the match, right? You want to win, right. And you're doing it in like rapid succession. It's like, oh, he kicked out, we'll do it again. It's like, yeah, because you lead. Even if you're like a smaller guy like Bret Hart, small guy, like 6'2", 3", 230 pounds. In real life, that's a big dude. But
I didn't think he cracked 6 feet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, build height, build weight. But he's dude laying on you. Like, yeah, you're gonna expend energy, like having to kick out. Like they would explain the psychology of it. You know, it makes sense. Like, and you should do that. Instead of just like, let me do like my 3 finishers and then I'm gonna pin the guy, and it's like, okay.
My favorite example of somebody doing it was Larry Zbyszko, because Zbyszko, I don't know what it was, but he just had a way of doing it that, at least for me, I don't want to say brought it home, but really brought it together. Again, with some newer fans, I busted out my favorite TV match, which was Sting versus DDP in Louisville. And what does Zbyszko do? Is Zbyszko, like right in the middle of the match, Sting's hitting something and Paige keeps getting up, but Zbyszko's like, Paige keeps getting up in the middle of the ring. Use the ropes. That gets you away from, and like reinforcing that from the in-ring perspective. I'm trying to agree with you, and I'm doing a poor job of it.
I think it, like, strategically too, like, to go into kayfabe, it's a good way to test how worn out someone is too, to try to pin them, to see what they're
Mm-hmm.
giving you. I always like that about Heenan though, which is an element a lot of modern announcers don't do because a lot of them aren't wrestlers, but you're not allowed to pretend like it's real anymore. Where he'd be like, "Oh yeah, sometimes you're fine," and you go to the two because you just to give yourself that extra second.
Yeah. It gets you a little extra breather before something happens.
Yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
but I don't know it just didn't sit well. And I like Megan Bain too. That was the other reason I was disappointed with it because Megan Bain's in other matches I've seen her in has been pretty good about utilizing her size advantage and like
Mm-hmm.
working big, and I don't know why she was so insistent on working small for this because it really didn't work. And it really made her offense look like shit, honestly, when she was on offense.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. From watching what I have, and I will fully admit it's not a lot, but from watching what I have watched, um, I I like Bozilla. I like the way Bozilla works, and I hope I get to see more of it. Full disclosure, I don't like Megan Bain very much. Um, and I know I said this to you guys earlier, but I'm going to say it on here. Megan Bain looks to me like that she has an attitude problem. Um, the it's happened more than once, but the most notorious case was when I can't remember who Megan Bain and Penelope Ford were beating somebody up, and Thunder Rosa is doing a run in to make a save with a chair in her hand. Well, what do? If you're the heel and a babyface runs in the ring with a weapon in their hand, what do?
Run.
You bail out, right? And they don't. They just stand there. And so Rosa starts kind of waving the chair around, and they don't back up. So she has to do something to cover for it, and it looks really bad. And they never moved. They just stood there and looked at her. And in times when Anna Jay or Harley Cameron have shown up with a weapon in their hand, same thing. They would not, there's no, and okay, yeah, you're supposed to be the big scary heel for it, sure, but there's still a certain amount of back up a little bit because they've shown up prepared to jack you up with, I think a lead pipe has been a favorite for Harley Cameron. I don't care how big and strong you are. Someone starts hitting you with a lead pipe, that's going to hurt. Back up a little bit,
Yeah,
but
at least
just stands there and is like, whatever.
at least if like
And
in the Thunder Rosa thing, at least if you're gonna stand there like that, then it better be to no sell a chair shot
yeah,
because you're so.
but
big.
that obviously wasn't planned.
Yeah.
Rosa didn't. Rosa took what would have been a swing at them and pulled it up short because they weren't moving for it. And to me, that undermines everybody you do that to.
Yeah, and a lead pipe, like no one's shaking off a lead pipe like you said.
But I like now.
I will slightly defend her in that I get what you're saying, but I also like maybe just don't allow the booking to be that way. If the idea is like she's not going to sell this or the threat of getting hit with an object because she's the Megasis, she's like this monster heel basically.
Yeah.
Then don't have Thunder Rosa go out there and like I'm going to hit with the chair and her like no sell it. Like either don't have her threaten her with the chair, or have, like you said, like have Rosa swing the chair, hit her, and then she no sells it.
Or have her, or at least have her like, you could do a situation where she backs up towards the ropes and like slowly exits the ring.
Yeah, just back up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
At least show hesitation.
Sell it a little bit.
Yeah. I see what Chad's saying because there's ways you don't have to like go running for the hills, but you could be like, you could stand your ground for a second and then be like, you could even be like, you're not worth it, and like get out of the ring and leave.
Yeah. That's
like, there's ways to back down and not like lose face as a monster.
I can agree. I think the easiest way is just like, well, just don't do that. And that does put some impetus on Megan Bain, because it's like, yeah, you could. They did it. So find a way to be like begrudgingly. It's like I'm gonna slowly like back off, and then it's
Yeah.
like
You
I
give
could
it.
have like destroyed you, but you decided to get a
I
chair. So
think
it's like
I think
you needed something to prevent me from destroying you,
I think if I was the
and
booker,
slowly do it.
I think if I was the booker and she did that, I'd be like, okay, well, we're gonna go over to Collision, and Thunder Rosa is just gonna beat you relentlessly with that chair, and you're not gonna do this again.
It
I
that wasn't going to happen. Uh,
I'll say
I mean,
this though,
yeah,
like Megan Bain can do that, but if Thunder Rosa's brandishing a chair, or you have Anna J. Taikanti with a pipe, then Megan Bain, because she's supposed to be the monster heel, like maybe she can no sell. But Penelope Ford should be like
oh yeah,
practically wetting her pants. It's like no, like because she's much smaller. It's like no, whoa, no,
And pulling
like
Megan Bain
don't hit
back too.
me.
there it is. That could have done it right there.
Yeah,
Here it comes, and here's someone with a weapon, doesn't matter who, and Penelope Ford has a hold of Megan Bain, pulling her away. Like nope, 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 nope,
yes.
nope, nope, nope.
Like,
Guess what didn't
like
happen?
Penelope Ford, I mean, it's like, and like ducks behind Megan Bain, so she doesn't
Yeah.
get hit. Megan Bain could be like mean mugging, and Penelope Ford is like grabbing her by the waist. It's like pulling her back. It's like no. Like when they have a weapon, like we need it, and like that's a great avenue where Megan Bain could be like I would have gone for you, but I'm getting pulled away, and it's like
Because you make bad situations. Like remember when we were watching USWA and like Austin Idol like randomly grabbed Dave Brown and like it got weird.
yeah,
And like you're creating that situation where like suddenly Dave Brown has to alpha dog you because you can't lose face to a degree, and like you're putting Thunder Rosa in a situation where like she might actually go at you with the chair for real because she's gonna have to save face because you kind of
Pissed on the feud that way.
yeah, like that, like
yeah.
it just causes bad situations. Because like I said, there are situations probably. I mean, Shad's a worker, but if someone did that, where yeah, you might have to, you know, take some matters into your own hand to like because they're shitting on everything.
Yeah, it's look. I was typically a heel, and I was bigger than just about everybody else on the roster. Babyface shows up with a weapon in his hand. I'm through the ropes to the floor. Because why? Was I a big heel that was supposed to be kind of scary? Sure, but I'm not taking a dumb risk. I'm not bringing my fist to a knife fight or whatever, right? Like that's. Let me just nope, get out of here and
Yeah,
saying something like, "Oh yeah, put that down and we'll go." Come on, something like that. But
it doesn't even have to. It could be just be like, well, I'm pretty and I don't want to lose a tooth because I won't be pretty no more. Like, like there are legitimate reasons you would back off.
yeah. Yeah. So that's and I don't mean to rain on anybody's parade. That's just
No,
it's a particular hang up I have.
I had forgotten the Thunder Rosa situation until you reminded me.
Yeah. So
But I didn't
anyway.
I didn't think this was a good showing for Megan.
Could have gone better.
I think this would be a good learning experience for someone to be like, because I hope someone when she got back there is like, don't do that again.
I would hope so.
Because it was such a miss. Like I was really disappointed in the match. I was kind of looking forward to because like I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a Haas fight. They're gonna just be going at it, and then I was like, oh, they
didn't.
Yeah, very disappointing. Well, I think that is it for this week. We'll be less rage filled next week. Hopefully, no one is assaulted.
Oh.
Oh, I did see on Dutch Mantel's show that noted dumbass Matt Riddle mouthed off to Shane McMahon at Hulk Hogan's funeral.
Did he? I hadn't seen that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Because he's an idiot. Because I guess Shane like made I think it was sarcastic and was like, "Oh, nice hair," and he told him to fuck off. I was like, yeah, like you really don't want it. Like, there's a reason like only MLW works with you.
Yeah. Yeah. God.
He's such an idiot. Such an idiot. Okay, well that is it for this week. Don't know what we're doing next week. It's next week's Labor Day weekend, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. But we will catch you next week. Thank you for joining us as always, and we will catch you next time.